Hi, everybody. Good night. Grand Rising. Okay. So I had to get my thoughts together and realize a couple things. Truth. 6:22 on my clock. It took a lot of time, some years, to come up with this. And it's finally the truth. To those who don't listen to this truth, it's fine because it's going to take time to get here. Nothing great happens overnight. It didn't for me. Okay? But it's time for me to tell it. So last night I did a live out of in my emotions. And I'm not going to delete it because it's not meant to be deleted. You see, it's like deleting things that come natural to you is like deleting parts of yourself, which is like hiding. I choose not to hide. I felt last night again, I went through two different experiences with this same result. It seems like I just keep going through these two different experiences. Wow. With the same result. Kind of the point. And then I asked God, I said, what is it? 21:12 on the clock, I promise you the truth. I said, what is it? 22:22, he says, maybe it's the cycle of that person. Sometimes it's you. Sometimes it's energy. Like when you put off positivity and you continuously get or receive the same kind of energy. So that's what I was thinking about all day is why, God? Why do I keep going through? Hence the importance of what I'm about to say. Matthew 20:16. That story has been a catalyst in my life for a long time because I heard it when I was very, 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 very young. I believe I was maybe 7 years old, 8 years old, 7 or 6. And I first heard this story about Jesus. And that's kind of the way I learn. I learn through stories, experiences. So the story is, Jesus had a farm. One morning, Jesus went up to the market and Jesus said, I need to plow a field. And the amazing thing is, the pool in front of my apartment, the water was chopping up and the wind was blowing so hard. And now, in the second I'm telling this story, all you can see is calm and light. The water is no longer choppy. that's a sign to me. The story is Jesus had a farm, and he went up to the market and he said, I will hire all those who come work my farm. I'll pay them such and such. Let's make up a number, 20 pence of silver. So in that moment, Jesus said, I will pay you. One man said, I will come and work. I will come as early as I can. Man showed up early in the morning. And he worked until his fingers bled. And in the afternoon, another man showed. And the man showed and said, I know I'm late, Jesus, but I will work your farm for however much you'll pay for my time. Jesus said, I'll pay you 20 pence of silver. Now the guy that showed up before sunrise thought, that was weird. I've been here since sunrise. He comes at noon and he still gets 20 pence of silver. So that afternoon, before the workday was over, another man shows up, and it's like 2 hours before workday is over. And Jesus says to him, I will pay you 20 pence of silver. And this is like a rough draft of the real story, the truth. If you want to know the truth, read it. And as Jesus begins to pay each man 20 pence of silver after the end of the workday, the guy that had been there was furious. The guy that's been there in the afternoon was just like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Like, I worked at least 6 hours. I should get paid more than he. And the guy that worked there since the morning said, I should get paid more than he. And the guy that worked in the afternoon said, oh, I'm good with my good 2 hours. Why do you think that this story is relevant? 818 on the clock. I had a thought earlier today as well. I was thinking, damn, I really want a relationship in my life, but I'm actually okay with being single because I get to be, for once in my life, all about me. Jesus! I don't have to show up in anybody's nothing. It sucks being alone sometimes because when you're sick alone. When you go through deadly experiences like hospitals and almost dying, you go through that shit alone. When you cry alone. That's the negative part of it, though. If you think of it in a negative way. But if you think of it in the most positive way possible, you can think of it. You finally get to focus on yourself. You have no one to knock at your door, answer your phone to detour you from the one things and the some things that you really want, your Ten of Cups. So yes, it took time for me to accept that. If you were removed from my life, you were removed for a reason. Because when I was with you, I devoted myself to you and got nothing. I give you the shirt off my back and couldn't get some extra pair of shoes you had hanging around in your closet given to Goodwill. God said it's time, 10:55. It's time that you start giving that energy to yourself. (11:11) on my clock when I said it, I promise. Because as I preach over and over and over again, how are you going to receive love if you can't give love to yourself? How are you going to receive love from someone else? Receiving love is a privilege, but if you have to change yourself to do it, then it's not love. 11:44. It's compromise. You're compromising. 11:55. Yourself. Self. How am I supposed to love self first? I think the point of the story was it doesn't matter when you show up for Jesus. And it doesn't matter when you show up for yourself. For yourself. It doesn't matter. The point is that you finally do. And when you enter the gates of heaven, 12:55 on the clock, I promise you, when you enter the gate of what which Jesus intended for you, He will give you the same love as the people that's always been there. That's the point. When you show up for yourself, because He made you, 1333. Timestamp them. I don't care. When you finally understand He's here for you, not against you, then when you stop fighting Him, and trust me, He will put you through the most rigorous 14:14 on the clock of hell. Everything just seems to be going wrong. You're doubting yourself, others, and everything around you. Those feelings like He's forgotten about you, that He's left you. He abandoned you, 14:44. I had all those feelings. What you don't understand about God, 1455, is that is when He is there the most for you, not against you. That's when He shows you the evil amongst you. And you have to choose fake love or God's love. Because He can't come down and yell in your face and whoop your ass. 1533. But He can show you a hell of a ride on the way to growth. That's when I realized why I was going through what I was going through. Why I become so cynical about love. It's not cynical against God. I'm a believer. 1606 on the clock. Baby. You can't tell me nothing about Him at all. Soon. I'm so not religious, I'm sorry, such a believer. Because I'm not religious. I don't believe in organized religion or whatsoever, or 1633. And it showed up twice on my clock. Whatsoever. But I believe that in His own time, He shows you. He will show you. And the sooner you ask Him, the sooner you get to open your eyes. Do you want proof? Ask the cards. Look, I'm just going to pick it up out of the deck. Compromise. I get it. Compromise. Healing. And totality. 1744. If you want to know the real, you'll open your eyes. If you want to stay in this matrix, you'll be in this matrix. Tell me where you come from. What's your name? Who is I? Who is I? 1818. There will forever be another being in your life that will tell you 1833 on the clock who and how and when and where to be. It's called Mommy, Daddy. But the purpose is, and this is the point, is that's why Jesus takes them eventually from your life. They die. For you to realize and step into your own you, 1900 on the clock. To step into your own you, 1909. That's why parents don't live forever with their children. They bear them, they raise them. And hopefully they did it right. In the eyes of the Most High. Because 1933, if they do not, they will suffer, so shall they. Right, wrong, and true or false is in the eye of the beholder. And the beholder is not you, it's Jesus, God, 1955. 5 is the number of change and transformation. You don't ever have to read or look at this, but you will someday. Someday some people will look at this of my channel, of me, and find it fascinating. 2033. And this is at 40, and I've been learning this my whole life. It's like going through half a lifetime collecting information and using the other half to use the information 2055 to change my life. You can believe that tarot makes no sense, but it does. It's how you implement it. A lie is a lie and a truth is a truth. People keep coming in and out of here, but they're not listening. To listen is a compromise. I can read cards all day to you. But the story remains true. One thing I can tell you about the Bible is that people don't believe it if it's not a glorification. Oh, Jesus, 11, 20, 22:11 on the clock. That's 11, 11, 11. Oh, he made water out of wine and he did this, 22, 22, and he did that. But if you think about it, at the end of the day, it's the stories of learning that's supposed to be your lesson. It's not the miracles, 22, 22, that allegedly people experienced, but it's the miracles that were performed outside of the masses. The lesson of Jesus and the farm is that it doesn't matter when you come to him. Yeah, some people can come to him from birth. Some people are bred into it. Some people they go through traumatic experience and come to him. Excuse me. I am really channeling right now because I know my eyes are blurry. But the reason I received this story all my life, and I'm going to call it writing, but it's like mental writing. I'm going to make another one on the sands of time. These are things you should look up. The reason I'm suggesting this to you is not because I'm trying to get views or viewers. Trust me, I don't have very many subscribers, views, or viewers. If I'm not reading tarot cards, people don't want to hear it. If you take the time to listen. You'll 24, 44, you'll hear a blessing. No one's telling you to go Bible thump and be in the church. It's not what he's about. 24:55. That is the number one rule of Jesus Christ, is you cannot find me in a church. You cannot find my lessons through man. My lessons come to you through experience, because God guides you. I'm just trying to put out in the universe the best way I can how it works. The cycles, the trends, the things that people do and then say amen. Sometimes I find it irritating. Just learn from the stories. There's nothing profound that another person can tell you that the Bible and Jesus can't. The Bible will show you the lesson and Jesus will teach you it. God will teach you it. The universe will teach you it. If you didn't learn from it the first time, just read about it. And I'm so protective. God doesn't care if you're gay. He made you. Solomon didn't get burnt down by God. Solomon got burnt down by man. The same man that sits here and preaches, you are an abomination unto the light of Christ. Those same men are the ones that burnt down Solomon. And Jesus made Solomon. You don't understand that everything in this world is like making a human being, calling him a Jew, and then saying that it was God's fault that we had to go through the Holocaust. No. There's one man defying God, which is why he's dead today. Died on the same cross he built himself on. Died on the same pedestal he built himself on. I feel me? Think about these things. I fear 2, maybe 3, maybe 4. God, Jesus, Mary, Joseph. Not even Joseph. I don't fear him. I fear ancestors. You know why you should fear your ancestors? Because they are the creators of the pattern that you continuously live in, that you're taught by your mother. Your mother was taught by her mother. Her mother was taught by her mother, along with your father, your father. Your father was taught by his father. His father was taught by his father. Ancestral patterns that you just kind of live in, and it becomes instilled in your blood. Belief. I'm so happy no one in my family knows of tarot does this. And do you know why? Because they don't deserve to know 1955. They don't deserve to know. They deserve to think I'm crazy. The reason why they deserve to think I'm crazy for believing in tarot, because there's so much in the matrix, it doesn't even matter. So school districts, I heard somebody today tell me the truth that I have always believed. And that is, school districts teach your children how to be worker bees, to feed the economy. You make money to spend money. Some of my friends said, I don't send my children to school. They'll be homeschooled on their best day, even if Corona wasn't here. So I want them to learn them, 3103, and I want them to learn how to succeed as themselves. 3113. Not as some fucking worker bee working at McDonald's, and then you start and end your life working. How do you use your best qualities if you're always working for somebody else to take advantage of your quality? 3131. So again, it doesn't matter when you come to Jesus. It doesn't matter when you come to God. You don't find him in the building. You find him in accepting exactly who you are. That's how you find God. Accepting who you are. I hope someone reads this or sees this someday. This is Ace of Wands, the Hierophant. Thank you very much for showing up. I hope you enjoyed the story, and please, Matthew 20:1-16. Read it. And then think about what I said.